Hello, hello. This is Chris, and today we are talking about the Order of the Pug. As always, if you are here to
I heard what happened.
play the
Thank you
game or
for
to
protecting the
like
child. If the druids are this far
to
gone,
like
then
watch
it's not
a
just
let's play or
goblins we
like
have to fear.
watch
So
gameplay
we
or
can
whatever. This
risk
is not the
violence
place for
here,
you. We are
or
here
face it for
exclusively
certain
to
on the
talk about
road.
history and
Quite the choice, isn't it?
like weird stuff. uh, um,
You saw what they were willing to do to a child
but yeah,
just
so
for trade.
this is not the place
It's
for you. I am
Kroger's
just here to talk
influence.
about weird history
Without
and weird
her
things that have
twisting
happened,
things,
and
I
you know
believe the
how
druids
history
might
has
see
kind of a ripple
sense.
effect and all that shit. Um, but yeah, I am also not going to be talking. Um,
It's good
you
of you to
know,
offer,
I'm also
but
going
there's a
to
whole
be
army
like
of goblins out
um,
there. We'd need an
talking
army of
about
our
like
own to
weird stuff
escort
that
us
I just
safely to
like,
Baldur's Gate.
and
And
I'm
while I
not going to
don't
be
doubt
talking
your
about like
abilities,
big historic
for an
events
army,
or
they
like
may
things that you
be
would
a way
normally
there.
learn in proper
Goblins
education.
are very
I do have
disciplined.
a
It's
U.S.
unlike them to
American
organize so cleverly. Somebody must be
standard
leading them,
education. I didn't go anywhere
bringing
fancy
discipline to their ranks.
for um,
Take out
you
that
know
leadership,
for my
and they scatter. It's
pre-college
no
or
small thing to
pre-university
ask, but
education.
I've seen you fight.
Um,
You're equal to the
I
task.
just had a general government mandated, um,
Everyone in
you
this
know,
camp depends on
uh,
it. Thank you.
uh,
We'll be ready
yeah,
to
I just
leave as
had
soon
that,
as you give
and so I had
word.
to learn a lot of this history by myself. Mind you, I obviously wanted to, you know, learn more history. I have a degree in religious history, and um, yeah, but yeah, so today I am going to be talking about the Order of the Pug. Like I said, that was a German um, uh, order. It has to do with Freemasonry, but it isn't Freemasonry. It is a offshoot of Freemasonry. Essentially, to talk about this, I do have to talk a little bit about Freemasonry. Um, I'm just gonna go history. It's Freemasonry kinda is a little boring personally to me. It's essentially you you like I didn't get the did I not get the I did get that wrong. Cool. Um Freemasonry is kind of a little boring to me, mainly because people like put airs, give it airs and stuff that it really doesn't deserve, honestly. Um, Essentially, for those who don't know, Freemasonry, if my first introduction into it was through the National Treasure movies, which, yes, high art there. Um, but that is not the way I want to go. But they're fun. Just let them be fun. But yeah, so it is a secret society, or secret in the biggest of quotations, because everyone knows about it. Historically, the it was like a religious order that that followed like laws and sacred laws, pretty much from like the Bible or the Quran. Um, and they normally have like an area that you can go to as a member. It was called like the lodge or whatever. And so
Maybe I need more pockets.
it uh it wasn't all that interesting. I mean, they have like handshakes and all this stuff and like secret things that you get to do, but it really isn't that all that interesting. And also a lot of times it's a male only um uh like organization, and so there's also uh, um, there's a few different styles of it, I guess. Predominantly, it's like Anglo-American Freemasonry, Continental Freemasonry, Women's Freemasonry,
What
and
manner of place is
Women's
this?
Freemasonry is
A
like
path to
the
redemption?
kind
Or
of
a road to
um,
damnation?
it was like
Hard
the
to
women's
say,
version of like
for your
the
journey is just
Anglo-American one,
beginning.
and yeah,
What
and then the
would
Continental one
suit
was pretty
the
much like
occasion? Hmm.
uh, it like
The
evolved.
words come not by
The
perhaps.
Continental one like was like you
The
didn't really have to be
mouths
super religious
smile
or like
brightly. It
political or whatever.
outfoxed the cat.
Um,
Then
but
down
it
came the
is
claw.
like the
And
oldest
that
existing
love. What's that?
secular fraternity.
They
Even
do
though
know how
it
to
like
write them in
was
cornmeal,
very
don't they?
religious in
Well met. I am
various forms,
Raphael.
and it
Very
descends
much at
from
your
like
service.
masons, like actual stoneworkers.
Ah, it
And it
looks like an elf, but it speaks like
um,
a
but yeah,
beast.
so Freemasonry
Must be
is
the
like it
surroundings, rather bleak
it
and
like
lonesome. One feels so
you know
exposed.
they're just kind of like this thing. And
This
I mean,
quaint little
I lived in
settlement
Los
is
Angeles,
decidedly too
in the
middle of
United States, and
nowhere
like I've
for my
passed
tastes.
like the area, like the
Come,
Freemasons building or whatever. So it's like they're not really hiding. They're not like a secret organization. They just um yeah, they just were like,
there, middle of somewhere,
you know, they um
and
yeah,
deny you the
they were just like
honor of my
whatever.
hospitality.
Um but yeah, a
This
lot of people
is
like
the house of hope,
are like
where
they're
the
actually in
tired come
charge of
to
the world and
rest,
all this stuff.
and the
Not
famished come to feed
really. I mean, they
lavishly.
members have
Go
had
on, partake,
connections to
enjoy
various
your supper. After all, it might
have had
just be your
various
last.
connections to government organizations, and things like that. But
Are
it,
you
it
not
really isn't
entertained? Well, far be it from
that,
me
I
to
don't really think it's
disappoint.
control of the government. Who knows? A lot of conspiracy theories are coming true these days because that's just the world that we live in. The United States is a
What's
weird place,
better
and
than a
it's
devil you don't
odd. It
know?
was odd to live there. But anyway,
A devil you do.
especially even growing up in
Am
the
I a
area. But
friend?
anyway, what we're actually here to
Potentially.
talk about
An
is the Order
adversary?
of the Pug. And
Conceivably.
yes, you heard me right.
But
Pug,
a
as in the
savior?
dog.
That's
It
for
was a
certain.
German order. Um,
Easy,
it,
easy.
it was a German order.
I'm
It
here to help,
was
not
called
harm.
Mobesorden
Consider your
in German,
predicament.
as in
One
Mops
skull, two tenants,
is a
and no
German word for
solution
pug,
in sight.
and it
I could
was
fix
made
it all
because
like
Catholics
that.
couldn't be members of actual Freemasonry in like the 1700s, which is around when it was founded, um, and um,
And what is madness
but
but a
yeah,
denial of
it's kind of weird
reality?
because like
Still,
currently
I
Freemasonry
have a
is like
feeling you change your
is not
mind
religious, but like it was back
before
then.
it's changed
Religion
for
is
you.
weird.
Try to
But
cure yourself. Shop
but
around.
yeah, it
Beg,
essentially you
borrow, and
couldn't
steal.
be
Exhaust
a
every
Freemason
possibility until
um,
none
around
are
this time
left.
if
And
you
when
were
hope
Catholic,
has
and
been
so
whittled down to the very
um,
marrow
they
of
had to make
despair,
their own. It was specifically in
that's when
Germany,
you
though.
come knocking on my
Um,
door.
it wasn't like
Hope,
that widespread around this time. The
such
history,
a
though, is
tease.
of it pretty much like stayed in Germany and went a little and like went into the Netherlands, but there wasn't really that much spread. And I think the farthest it kind of got was France. Um,
By
but
all
yeah,
means, bite
and
the hand
so
that feeds you.
the other
Well, you
notable
still
exception
have
about
to.
this, other than that they
All
were
those
Catholic,
pretty
was that
little
women were
symptoms,
also allowed to be
sundering
members,
skin,
as long
dissolving
as they were
guts, they
Catholic. So as
haven't
long as you're Catholic,
manifested
you could be
yet,
in the Order of the Pug,
have they? One might say
and that
you're
was
a
like the
paragon
big,
of luck.
that was
I'll be there
biggest,
when it runs
um,
out.
the biggest like caveat is you had to be Catholic. You have to be Catholic. Everything else was, neither here nor there. Yeah, you don't really have to be a part of the you don't have to be a Mason to be a Freemason anymore. That is no longer a requirement, and pretty much the members themselves call themselves Mops or Mops, however you say that in German. It just means pug in German, and and there isn't all that much else that you can say about that. It um and the reason they chose the pug was that they the the dog represented loyalty, trustworthiness, and steadiness. Um, I don't really think that's something that we would associate pugs with now. I mean, they're still pretty loyal. Um, but it's not really something that I would be like, yes, my pug is trustworthy and loyal and has a steadiness about them. Yeah, I don't really think that's how it works now, at least. And
The creatures clutch the
and
pouch reflectively. Is
and
gold
yeah,
so
it
precious to spiders?
it's kind of funny. And um um I think that's just funny. But yeah, so pretty much there's not really information about how it is um how it was started. Oh my god, I'm doing
Spiders skitter
terribly at
about,
this one part.
more nervous than before.
I'm doing terribly at this roll. Alright, let me try this. Anyway, but yeah, so it's like one of those things that finally, sorry. So like we don't really know much about it. It's mainly believed that it was like founded
The
in
spiders
1740
scatter and
in
just splash the bag.
in France, even
Something
though it
clinks among the coins.
like mainly was in the Netherlands and Germany, and
A cluster of
and
spiders huddle inside the crevice.
and and
Infuriated spiders pour in all directions like sand. The swarm is coming.
so yeah, predominantly was in France, or it was like predominantly in Netherlands and Germany, and and that but it did like go off farther, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, it really didn't take off, I guess. Uh, um, and so pretty much the um, Gale really did not just kill that spider. Oh my god. But yes, it it was relatively like it was sorry, it like kind of ran almost, I want to say 10 years or so, I think, in the in like in 1748 it was like banned, but only at a university. It was a Göttingen University was where it was banned, but nothing else really has like information on it. The only other thing we have for like timelines was in 1902, that it was like
How much further can I go?
um, um, the only other thing that like we have about its its like longevity is in Lyon. They had there was a small faction still in 1902, but that is kind of the last we've heard of this order. And what made them different in like traditional Freemasonry, like I said, women were allowed to be in it, and I'm not sure on people's stance on women in Freemasonry now. That's just not something I know. And so if you know about that, I would love to know. I just kind of don't have a huge interest in Freemasonry as a whole, but it is definitely, it comes up in history just because it's still a thing from like 1400s or whatever, and or even later sometimes. But they're you know,
People up ahead. Something's
they
wrong.
so they had women, and they also, each lodge had a man and a woman as like the Grand Master. It wasn't just like it wasn't just a man or one person like normal Freemasonry. And
I don't think he's conscious. Can you
uh,
hear us, Ed?
you know,
You, not a step
it was
closer.
mainly like students and stuff
Strange
that did it to be like, ooh, I'm in a fraternity or whatever, and stuff like this was kind of the predecessor to like fraternities and sororities in like modern day, and so yeah, it's definitely worth noting that. um, but yeah, so they had initiation rituals just like most fraternities and sororities do now.
He's hurt
Um,
badly. And oil
Mind you,
there got
there
him
a
deep.
lot of
If there's
colleges
anything
now,
you
or a
can
lot
do.
of fraternities and
I'm
sororities
watching
are
you.
like, yeah,
The injured
we
man
don't
locks
do
eyes with
hazing
you.
anymore. They
A
do
familiar
initiation rituals, but there
square
isn't really any hazing
change in
anymore.
your
But yeah, essentially, novices had to like
Your minds
wear a
intertwine.
dog collar, and
You
then
see his
they would like
siblings, Edric
scratch
and Brenna,
at the door
new
like a
recruits,
dog to be like admitted
yours to
inside.
shepherd.
The novices were then
Protect
blindfolded and led 9 times
They
around a
are a true soul.
carpet with symbols on it. So like they're
Blind
like,
them.
you know, they were like
They will.
when in a circle around these
They.
like symbols and stuff. Do we know what the symbols were? No, I like to think it was just a bunch of pugs, but we don't know.
Edward!
Um,
Ed!
and then
Please!
He's with the
well,
absolute now.
the like
Your
existing
true
pugs,
soul.
the people in the
Edwin,
order, they
our
like would
brother,
bark loudly
he
to
was
test
chosen.
their
Like you.
steadiness, like
Do you have
to be
orders
like,
for us?
are you
We
pug
were
enough to be in
reporting
it?
to Edwin.
And then the novices would like kiss a porcelain pug, and like sources are like, oh, they kissed their backside. Um, um,
I don't know any druids.
you know, like, oh, they kissed their backs. I have
We know that all too well.
but yeah,
But the absolute sent us here.
but
We're
yeah,
looking for
they said that
fugitives.
they would kiss their
Survivors
backside.
from
I
that
like
ship
to
that
think that it
crashed
is
farther
like
west of
they,
here.
kissed their little pink star. Um,
What? Are you
um,
testing us?
but
The Absolute is our goddess. She's going to rip
yeah,
down the
and
old
it
world
says like
order,
kiss their
start a
backside
new
under
one.
its tail
And
as
we'll
a
be the
expression
ones
of
with the power.
devotion to the order.
Well,
And I'm like,
you
yeah,
will
they kissed
first,
the
like true
butthole,
souls.
like the little
You
pink
don't need me to
star,
explain
brown
that.
star, I
A true
guess, and
soul,
some,
like you, has been
some
chosen by the
cases.
absolute.
But like,
You speak
I just
her
like,
voice, and when the time comes,
I'm just
the
curious.
true
If they're like,
souls,
do you just have
you
to,
will rule.
actually get in there, or
That
is
fellow
it
got a
just like,
tadpole in his head, and they consider him blessed?
um,
Chosen? What madness is this?
but yeah, um,
I'm sorry, true soul. I only repeated what I thought I knew. It seems the absolute still has a great deal to teach me.
but uh,
What? And just
but but yeah, so they
Are
would
you
do
dead?
that, and then
I suppose
they would
you'd want
like
us to
be
go on.
admitted to the order.
Find a way to honor his
If you
sacrifice.
were a man, you
May
were
the
given a
absolute
sword.
guide us.
I think it was a rapier. Yeah, and if you were a woman, they'd give you like a mirror. Um,
So,
with your vow,
absolute.
you would like vow
What
to
do
the
they
order.
mean?
But like,
Strange power
um,
resonates within the corpse.
do we know what
It
this vow
calls
was?
to you.
No, of course not. It was a quote-unquote secret society. Of course not. We don't know that. Why would we?
Your limbs move of their own accord.
But
This
yeah, they would like give that, and then
something
they
your
would
mind
request to
craves.
like see the
Why let
light.
its host's memories go
Um,
to waste?
and or
That
they
one
would
has
no,
absorbed it all.
they
Its
would ask if the
experience
initiate wants
nourished
to see
you,
the light, or
strengthened
they
you.
would, whatever. And then um, they would, try their best to try to like be like, ooh, we're all secret, whatever. And then the blindfold was removed, and then they would, stand around in a circle, holding out, the mirror, the rapier. All of them had pugs on it, because why wouldn't they, And it's the pug ritual, and and um, and then they would like be in
Your
it
muscles
within the order.
loosen. The
Apparently,
curtain
like
breaks through the
signals and
elusive
slogans
truth.
and or hand signals and
Your
slogans
mind is your
did
own.
become a part of it,
Cannot.
or like was a part of it, but it really wasn't something that um was originally. But yeah, they within um um they were then like given a pug medallion made of silver that they had to carry around, and catch it. Where'd it go? No, murder. Eh, eh, murder. Get the sluggy. Eh. Where'd it go? There it is. I lost it. Okay, I lost it. Um, but but yeah. So pretty much they carried around this medallion, and they knew that like, oh, we're members if they could show their medallion. But this Catholic
Anything of use?
dog order pretty much like stayed hidden for a good portion of the its run. It wasn't really exposed until like 1745. And I say exposed with like the greatest of quotations, because it was just in a book about it, about like um, various different orders and stuff, and like how there was an order of the pug or whatever. It wasn't really like, oh my, it wasn't really like hard hitting evidence or whatever.
Follow their tracks.
Um,
His nest must be nearby.
but yeah, so it and then 3 years later, after it got exposed, they were like ordered to not be around anymore. But they were, of course, because who listens to things like that when stuff like that happens?
About Baldur's Gate.
And
Food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
and so yeah, it kind of just disbanded, or it went like even secreter, because there is a mention of them in 1902 in Lyon, but but yeah, it wasn't really a big thing. It's more of just like a funny thing that did it. They kind of just went down in history as like this thing that lasted maybe 10 years at its height, and it might have continued on in France,
The
and
dog lowers his hackles, his head
and
tilted inquisitively.
you know
Convinced that you're harmless, he
pretty
turns his
much died in
attention
the
back
Netherlands
to
and
the
Germany
corpse.
within like 10 years, and then
Around his neck is a collar etched with a name.
and
Scratch.
yeah, that's pretty much all there is.
With a deep,
Um,
heartbroken
It's just a stupid order about a dog, and like the dog really had nothing to do with it except for
The dog looks
that
at
they
his
thought it
owner
was
with
like
sad eyes. He does not
loyal
move.
and trustworthiness and steadfastness, you know. But besides
The
that,
dog sniffs
it
your
was
hand.
just
His
very
tail
pug
is one
themed. I don't know.
long
I like to think
understanding.
that someone was like,
He
"Hey,
knows
I'm
how to find
Catholic,
you.
and I really like my dog, and I am going to make an order about my dog." But yeah, that is all I have for you today. I think we're gonna end there. I hope that you guys enjoyed the silly information about a dog order, about a dog secret society. Um, and yeah, if you guys have any questions about it or want to recommend another stupid history thing for me to do, just comment down below. But besides that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.